Hi friends, it's Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Today I'd like to introduce to you my husband Kevin. If you've joined me here on my channel before, you know that I love to combine the old with the new when it comes to decor. And our daughter and son-in-law recently bought an older home that had some issues with some electrical outlets that my husband helped remedy.
So a lot of times when you get an older house, they have plaster walls. This house is a beautiful home. It's an old arts and crafts home. It was built in the late 50s, early 60s, and it has very thick walls, very large baseboards, and all the kinds of things that you love to have in a home that are hard to come by. However, sometimes people will put sheetrock over the old plaster to make it work better, to have a nice smoother surface and to do some remodeling. Well, the problem is when you have the outlet and it's in the original box, now the outlet is further back and there's space between it and the cover and it doesn't match up anymore. And so I came up with a solution after some trial and error for how to resolve this simply without the complication of trying to dig that box back out of the wall to bring it forward. So here's a simpler solution using something simple that you'll find probably in your home, and you'll see how it works. So here you can see that the sheetrock has been added over the old plaster, and that means that the outlet is sunk in. So that means the cover plate, if you put the cover plate there, well, that doesn't work. And so normally what you would, hopefully do is remove the box or take the box loose, in other words, the electrical box, and move it forward. But sometimes, like in this case, that's very difficult to do. So I came up with a little solution here. And what I did was just create some spacers to go between the actual outlet itself. And what I'm using is what you see here. And that's just simply a drywall hanger that you would get for a picture. But what I'm doing is I'm snipping it off to use it as a spacer. And I'm basically, you saw the size that I had there, so I'm basically making 4 spacers from that, and that's what it's going to take to make this work. So one of the things that you're going to need is a longer screw than the one that comes with the outlet. So you're going to need to go to the hardware store. That's about the length of what comes with it. But as you can see, you need something that's almost twice that length. So when you go to the hardware store, take that screw with you. And then what you'll find when you get there is that they'll have some threads that you can screw it into so you'll know that you're getting exactly the same thing. If you're not sure what to look for, you can ask the guys. Now, you'll also notice there's this little black thing. It's not exactly a washer. It's basically meant to hold the screw in that little bracket there. And it's helpful because what you don't want is that screw to fall out while you're trying to get it in there and go down into the wall. That would not be good. So you use those little black things that are in there. I'm not sure what to call them, but you want to replace those on the new screws. And so now, once you get that in, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put those spacers on there. And you'll probably find yourself adjusting the spacers along the way, um, but that's important. So I'd make them as long as you can make them first, and then once you can put it in there and try it and see how it goes. And then what you'll probably find is that you might need to trim them back a little bit, that maybe it's sticking out a little too far. So here I am putting those spacers on there. See, again, this is just, it's a drywall hanger, a picture hanger, drywall picture hanger, is what that is. And I used 4 of them because I'm only using the part that's like a little tube. And then I'll put those on, and then I'm just going to reattach it And of course you can see what's happening there. It's going to stick out a little further than it did before. So you'll see here how these spacers look when they're on these longer screws, and you'll get a sense of kind of how this is going to work. Now the box in this case was pretty far back up in the wall, so it really took a long screw to make it work. But I didn't include, actually wiring the outlet up. If you're interested in seeing a video of how to do that, I'd be glad to do one. So just let us know in the comments. So there's going to be a lot of adjustment at this point. You just need to prepare yourself for that, because you're going to have to, when you're tightening it with the screwdriver here, or you're loosening it, you're basically just bringing the outlet further into the wall, further out of the wall. And so you can see there, the first time I put the plate up, I held it up to see if it was too deep, and it was too deep in that case. And so I backed off of that, and now I see I need to adjust it a little bit more. You also want it to be straight, so you'll probably need to do a little adjustment, just literally grabbing the outlet itself and moving it around. It should go without saying that the breaker was turned off for this outlet. You definitely don't. I've seen people do this without turning off the breakers. It's not something you want to do. So there's a little screw that comes with these plates when you get a new plate, and that's what I did there, is use the little screw that came with it. And there you go.
So we hope this video was very helpful to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and Kevin would be glad to get back to you. Thanks for watching.
Bye.